Y'all, as a wig wearer, this bothered me. They deserve better. Better wigs for NewJeans.
Whoever came up with the idea to do this collaboration is so smart.
But I blame the NewJeans girls. They were snitches.
Yeah, they snitched.
Viewer discretion is advised. Your fave will be criticized.
That's Shan.
That's Chris.
And you are watching CCTV, the non-stop pop show.
And it's time for a NewJeans Get Up edition of Pop Off, the ultimate music showdown.
Looking for an awesome global pop music podcast? Well, look no further, because Shan and I have the inside scoop with extensive experience performing on stage and working at record labels, and we review and deep dive into your favorite artists, songs, and careers, analyzing all the creative and business decisions along the way. So you can join us on Patreon at patreon.com/cctvpops and become a part of our amazing crew, which includes Lily, Lisette, Emily, and Juliet. Subscribe now and let's explore the world of pop music together.
Yes. And if you're new here, Pop Off is a segment here on CCTV where we take some tracks, compare the songs, videos, and performances, and pick our favorites in each category. Then we each choose an ultimate winner. But remember, this is all meant for pure fun, so don't take it seriously. Join in on the fun and let us know what wins for you in the comments.
So normally at the end of every month, we put up polls on our socials at CCTV Pops, asking you all to vote for which songs we should include in the episode, K-pop songs that were released in the last month. And honestly, it was pretty clear this month on charts and in your votes that NewJeans has just completely taken over. So we decided we would just do a pop-off between the 3 title tracks from the Get Up EP, and we can make them face off in each category. So let's get ready to rumble!
Round 1.
Up first in the ring is Super Shy.
Player 1.
Done by Frankie Sakoa, Erica De Cassier, Christine Bogan, Gigi, Kim Zimia, Daniel of NewJeans, and that's it. Usually there's so many names on these songs. But yes, this was released a few weeks before the EP came out, and it is noted to have liquid drum and bass, and mixed with a little bit of Jersey club music, which is quite nice. I do hear it.
Yes, so the first round is all about the song. We talk about the production, the hook, the vocals, the melody, etc. And I am a fan of Super Shy. I do have to say, the first time I heard it, I wasn't completely sure about it. It was very frantic, I think, the first time I heard it. But when I saw the video, then I got it, So I will say this one took me a little bit to really understand it. But now I really enjoy it. I think the whole build is really great for the song. I love the twinkly and ethereal synths that are in the back. Especially in that first verse. And I love the way it all just kind of pulls back and comes back in. And the drums keep changing as well. So it's a really, really cool production. Melodically, it is actually a really pretty melody. I do think because the production is so frantic, I think, you won't notice that all the time. But if you really just listen to the song, I wish there were an acoustic version or something, because it actually is a really beautiful melody. And the way they're singing as well. Not just this song, but, it's noticeable in this song how soft it all is. There's no belting at all. It's all very, very relaxed. It's very sweet. And it does just juxtapose that really harsh beat very, very well. And, the chorus is great, but actually the highlight for me is the "you don't even know my name" kind of hook that comes in, kind of the post-chorus / kind of a bridge or kind of an outro. I don't know. It is a very, very short song for sure. So I do wish there were some harmonies or some unison singing for those final choruses, because I feel like it ends too fast. It doesn't feel like a real climax. So yeah, that's my only kind of negative about it, but I do enjoy it. What do you think?
This song, when I first heard it, I instantly was like, oh my gosh, wait, this is some Jersey. I started doing the Jersey dancing that I'm absolutely terrible at. But yeah, this song brings back so many fun memories at my friend's wedding. They're all from Jersey and Philly area and stuff like that. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just came back from Philly. So yeah, this song definitely just sounds like Black people music to me. So I was like, ooh, hang on, I like this. But what makes it even more just not just K-poppy, but just a good pop song is the outer space-ish kind of bell riff. That It's like, where is it gonna go? And like you said, it does soften up that edge of the drum, the percussion. I'm sitting there doing the dance still. But yeah, the bell riff is definitely its own little earworm. And I think just talking about the vocals on it, I think Hayden is probably their not strongest one, but she's the one I pick out a lot easier than the other girls. And also Minji, I think, because Minji's voice is a little bit lower. But yeah, Hayden's vocals are really growing on me. And I think as a group, they do have similar tones. So when they sing in this really soft kind of, you don't even, this kind of soft kind of way, it's like, okay, which one's singing? If you don't know this group really well, you can't really tell who's singing. And I guess for the sake of like the hypnotic effect or like the mesmerizing, effect of the song, it works. So kudos to them also for doing that because it works for this track. And also recording in that breathy tone is not easy. Like those little runs and like vocal slides throughout is really cool and it's subtle enough not to just be like, oh, they showing off, but like it's just interesting little earworm. Like they know my name to you. Like little things like that will happen. And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's why that's my favorite
slides.
part.
Yeah, because it's just subtle. It's right there. There's other little moments here and there. And the drum and bass kind of like sound is really popular in the UK, but shout out to James Brown for his song Funky Drummer for being forever sampled to this day. Because, it's so cool. Like a funky song like that gets put into a UK genre and is now being used by this Korean band that is being written with songs by, like, I guess Swedish people. I'm not sure. They're probably Swedish. But yeah, I will say, though, I did notice when I was singing the chorus that it sounds a little similar to Better Now by Post Malone. You probably think that you are better now, better, super shy. For those who are just listening, I'm actually doing the dance. And
very different tones, but yes, I understand melodically.
You probably think that you are better now, super shy. So I was like, the key was so wrong. The key was wrong. But yeah, I do appreciate that the lyrics are, although really sweet and innocent, they have an air of coolness. And I do also wonder what the song would have sounded like with more harmonies. I feel like it would have been taken to another level with harmonies and maybe some ad-libs here and there. As it stands now, it's a simple song with a fun beat and it's fresh. So it knew what it had to do.
Definitely. Well, moving on to Player 2 with Cool With You.
Player 2.
Which was done by Jinsu Park, Frankie Skoka, Erica de Cassier, Fine Glinvad Jensen, Gigi, Kim Simya, and Danielle of NewJeans. And this is a UK garage track. So what do you think?
Okay. Shout out to Danielle for writing. I'm not going to hold you. When they announced her to be like the Korean correspondent to Hallie's Ariel for The Little Mermaid, I was like, her voice is so soft though. I don't know. But now that I see that she's kind of having a hand in writing, I think there's a little bit more to her voice and her technique that we may not all know about yet, which is really interesting. As we go through all these songs, you only hear like this very like hushed tones and these really soft hand voice and falsettos. So I'm just like, dang, I really wonder what she sounds like when she's like really singing full chest, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, this song is interesting. I mean, Adore really knows how to get on a trend. It's crazy how, again, the UK sound is making a resurgence in K-pop, where now if some other girl group does it, the K-pop fans already think like, oh, NewJeans, you guys are trying to be like NewJeans, which is crazy because Western fans, pop fans might be like, oh, this is Pink Pantherist, while our age group is like Craig David, Mystique. It's crazy watching this stuff loop around and then being like, but it's K-pop. You're like, no, it's okay. Hang on, wait, stop. That being said, though, this song their style of singing fits this atmospheric kind of track because you have all these like UK influences. When you add the synths and these little bouncy sounds, it's a different song. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate those. The synths really create that airiness that you can get really submerged in. So when you hear all the breathiness and the vocal breaks and stuff like that, it's just so satisfying. And then the lyrics. It calls for a certain level of intimacy that is delivered in a vulnerable way, as opposed to like the sultry major quotes around that is loosely in Cookie, because Cookie's trying to be something that they're not ready to be yet. Like they're not old enough for that. But this song, young girls when they have their boyfriend, they're like, hey, you know, it's cool with you. I feel good with you and things feel nice. Like, not everything's like, oh my God, let's go to the movies. Buy me a ring pop ring. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just like this really sweet little moment between two little teenagers and then they have a crush on each other. So I appreciate this song. Again, I think it'd be great when they get older. It's going to be so good. When they're older and they're singing it. Like, this is a good, like, not timeless. I would say timeless for the sake of it following a trend, but also adding some EDM elements, and then just the tone of it is really soothing. So I think altogether is this one's pretty timeless. I like this one. I was kind of surprised that they did this after coming from like Hurt. So yeah, definitely like a good progression in their like intimate songs.
Yes. Well, yeah, if you listened to our show, you would know that we love British pop music. We've talked about the Sugar Babes before, who also have done a lot of garage tracks. I've been listening to Mystique a lot, actually, recently. And I sometimes I just have all my like songs like on shuffle. And this song played right after Cara Marnie, that British, that newer British pop star. And it fit perfectly. Like, I was like, wow. From my understanding, it's very interesting because I believe Cool With You is actually not doing very well compared to the other singles in Korea. But it is the push internationally. Yeah. So it is very interesting, and that totally makes sense, and it makes sense why I love it, I think, because I was a big fan of it the second I heard it, for sure. Yeah. The distorted keyboard synth and the plucking bass line is a really, really cool dynamic together. And again, kind of like Super Shy, you still have that dreaminess, you have that and the ethereal quality to it. And again, the vocal is very soft and very angelic as well, which I love. Yeah. I agree. I would love to hear them belt a bit more, just to switch it up for the next project, because I think this whole EP is quite soft in their delivery. But to be fair, that's also very refreshing, since a lot of the other girl groups out there right now, like IVE and LE SSERAFIM, you know, it's full belt and mix. You know, like it's a full belt, so it does differentiate them. So I appreciate that. But I do know, you know, these members are talented and they have different parts of their vocal to show off. So I do look forward to that in the future. We do get some harmonies in this, and you know we love harmonies. It's so pretty in the pre-chorus. I mentioned an acoustic version of Super Shy. I would love an acoustic version of this. I think it would be so pretty. Like, imagine the Sugar Babes covering it and doing some crazy 3-part harmonies with it. Like, I know these girls could do it. Like, we need to prioritize vocals more in K-pop. Yes, I will never stop saying that. But yeah, I think the chorus is super simple, but very, very effective. The balance of that riff, that riff, along with the little talky, breathy bits along with it. Really, really great dynamic. Again, it's too short, though. I get that that's a thing now, right? In the TikTok age, we're no longer at the 3 minutes, 30 seconds as the ideal pop song. We're at the it has to be under 3 minutes now situation. So I think a bridge would have just made this song a complete 10. But absolutely, overall, though, I do love it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. Honestly, my opinion is this: if the song is good, I don't care how long it is, I'll listen to it. Okay. And the song is good enough for them to actually kind of go that extra 30 seconds. The song is good enough, for sure. All right, time to bring in our last player into the ring, and that's ETA.
Player 3.
Done by 250, Benzino, Gigi, and Eva Dimberg. And this has a little bit of a Baltimore club track influence. Yes, be more, let's get it. All right, now this one is the lead single, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't really know how they class it, because technically it's 3 title tracks, but I do believe this is the big push, at least in Korea, maybe.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, okay, well, I'm just going to jump right into the lyrics of the song, because I know you're going to get the production.
Ooh.
But this is so messy. Oh, my God. Okay, hang on. First of all, this is really nostalgic. Like, the style of writing and the lyrical content is nostalgic to me, where, like, back in the day, the girls are sitting there telling their friend about a cheating boy instead of singing to their own man. Like, oh, my gosh. Like, it just brings back memories of, like, the early 2000s, where it's just like, where my girls at? Or even, like, Say My Name. Something about it Say My Name is definitely about cheating, but, like, you getting cheated on. But something about this, I feel like, would just slot in so nicely with that that girl group kind of being like, girl, you know he's doing X, Y, and Z. Girl, I know. Like, oh, I love it. And they already have this girl next door image. So to have this song presented as if they're your bestie, freaking brilliant. Great choice for their A&R team. Like, great choice. And I gotta say, the pre-hook encapsulates the whole chisme, the gossip of this song. Like, that pre-hook is hilarious. He goes, it's that day you couldn't come to my party. And then Minji's like, that's the day he ain't got in trouble. And then Daniel was like, well, Jingwon showed up to the party, blah, blah, he was talking to a whole other girl. And then Minji was like, he was dressed to the nines. And I heard him say, I did not sing the melody properly at all. But it cracks me up that these girls are sitting there doing like a baton toss of vocal distribution and being able to sit there and tell a story. Like, this is fine writing at its best, and also good lyrical distribution at its finest, because you get to hear different voices, and the melody's interesting too, especially with that to the nines, heard him say. It's kind of weird. I wouldn't say dissonant. I don't know, right? That's not coming to me what the note sounds like, but it's just interesting to kind of have that toss back and forth, but also be able to tell the story. So by the time that chorus comes on, you can go wherever at first I thought the girls were sitting there talking to a guy saying, we can go wherever you want, you know, like, tell me when you're coming to the party. And I love that. The song could just have so many meanings, but we all know it's about chisme. They're messy. They're so messy because literally they're like, when are you coming? Because he's making his move. That is hilarious to me. But
yes. But speaking of that, I also kind of wanted to call out as well that pre-chorus where they're all taking turns. I love the way they did the vocal production, though, because it's not bratty. Like, this isn't a Gossip Girl situation. Like, they don't seem too catty about it. Like, they actually sound quite warm, which is nice. They really just care about their friend and are like, you need to come and handle this.
Right,
know,
like, here are the details. So
yes.
if he's, you know.
We are here for you. This is what's happening. I love that. I want to shout out whoever mixed this song, because it's a really good mix. I listened to it on Dolby Atmos as well on Apple Music. I listened to it on Tidal to try and get the full, raw master as well. It's really simple, but very, very full. And the dynamics are awesome in it. So definitely listen to it with headphones if you haven't, because the elements are so cool. The distorted horns are really fun. Brings a really instant energy, but it's not annoying, because I think that could be very like piercing in your ear, but the way they did it, it sits in a really good spot. The thumping as well is also quite subtle, but it gives it a really nice drive throughout the whole song. So just have to shout out whoever mixed it and produced it, etc. Like, really, really good. Vocally, compared to the other two especially, this is a much more confident vocal, which I appreciate, because it is a little bit different. And this is where I was kind of at the point where I could not tell their voices apart at all. Like, that whole first project, I could not tell their voices apart at all.
Oh, yeah.
In this one, I can. I'm starting to now, which is good. And I think as they get older as well, their voices will differentiate naturally as well. But I'm glad I can finally kind of hear that. I think hearing them all sing one at a time like that really helps too. I do wish the chorus, the whole chorus was a unison chorus. I think it would have been even stronger that way. And even the "What's your ETA?" that chant, it's a unison chant, but there's still one person in lead the whole time. As opposed to just being a full, just kind of 5-person at equal volume kind of chanting
levels,
together. Equal levels. Thank you. I just think that would have made it a little stronger and a little more kind of like girl power friend group situation. So that's just personal choice though for me, honestly. But this song, I think every time I hear it, it grows on me more. So
I think this is one of those kind of like, caught up to your songs, So. That being said, who takes it for you for the song round?
I think I will give it to Cool With You. That's really hard, though. That's really hard. But at the moment, I think Cool With You, it was the most instant one. And so I think, everything's still so new. So I'm going to go with that. How about you?
Okay, I'm going to go ETA.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to the Be More Club, bro. Be more. Okay.
But shout out to Super Shy, because it's great too. This is hard.
It is hard. It wasn't an easy decision. If you made it this far, be sure to drop your comments below. Let us know who won the song challenge for you, the song round, excuse me.
All right, so round 2 is the music video.
Round 2.
So yes, we did get 3 music videos. Actually, we got 4 music videos because Cool With You
Yes.
had 2.
Yes.
So let's discuss the first player. We have Super Shy, which was filmed in Lisbon, Portugal, and the concept was like a flash mob / Zumba class situation.
Yes, very opposite of being shy. Very opposite of being the most like unshy thing to do. This video feels so Western. It's atypical for K-pop for sure, like the shots and them not being in a box or like at a school or like what else should I go on? It just has so many static shots to video that really stand out to me because the angles are weird. They're not like these head-on shots. They're like hero angles like at the bottom or like from some weird angle at the top of a roof somewhere. And it's fun. Like there are fun things to spot throughout the video, like a girl refusing a proposal and then running into the shot as they're dancing, or a girl blowing the bubbles off to the side. It's a B-roll shot, like a side clip. And it's the bubbles that are in front of the girls while they're dancing. And then what blows my mind is the bus scene, because literally this guy gets hit and everyone's like, oh shoot, let's go dance. And he's like, let's go dance right now. And he's out here looking at them like, the bus just hit me. And we never know what happens. Like this whole video is just jokes. It's absolute jokes. And the extras are choreographed to perfection. Like, dude, can you imagine how many takes? Like there's been some clips leaked out of the dancers and everyone else only getting like what, first 4 counts, and then they're getting not even a click track. Like that's annoying. Like shoot, even when Beyonce was filming in Coney Island, they had like the AirPods in their ears. They said, go 5, 6, 7, 8. Silence. I'm like, what the heck? So kudos to them. Like I really feel like I was watching Kenny Ortega's Disney musicals. Like I just felt like I was watching Strut by the Cheetah Girls or like High School Musical. It's something very quirky and it's artsy, like something that a Western artist would do. The video looked as sweet as it sounded too. I love the colors.
Yes.
But one note, I'll get off of it. I love the girls' hair throughout the video, especially the high pony. I love when girls wear a pony. But what the heck was going on with them wigs? The blonde wigs on Hani and Hayden. But all this money y'all got, and you got them synthetic blend. Oh my God. I could not stand the headband because they couldn't get the lace front for Hayden. Like I'm totally joking. I'm joking. But if you notice in the clips, when she's dancing, she turns around and it's a little like kind of tangled in the back. I'm like, if y'all don't brush this little girl's hair. Oh my God. I hate y'all as a wig wearer. This bothered me. They deserve better wigs for NewJeans.
I know they have the money for it now. Come on. That's very funny. I agree with a lot of your points. One of my first notes is also it feels like a musical. So yeah, I totally get that. And I love that. Yeah. You know, it's fun. There's a nice polish to it. It's super saturated. It's like a lot to look at, but it's not overwhelming. So I appreciate that. The bus scene is probably my favorite, like the whole thing. Like from when they're in the inside and they're doing all those like intricate head and hands and stuff, then to them just dancing outside of it, like just that's a really cool part. This really could have been an ad for Lisbon because everything that they went to looked amazing. Like that market that they were in looked amazing.
Yes, it did. Yes. Absolutely.
I'll save my comments on the choreography. Obviously, this video is very choreography based, and that is round 3. So I will leave that part of it. But I do think the video overall is very, very enjoyable. It has a ton of replay value because you do notice little different things each time you watch it. It makes the song way better for me. Like, I don't think I would like this song half as much as I do if this video didn't exist. So just a great example of how important K-pop choreography is and K-pop visuals are to a song in general. So yeah, really, really love it. And I've watched it quite a few times now.
I'm crying. Quite a few. You know, I was actually playing in Target today. I went to go get some tape or something. Yeah, like I guess they're teamed up with Target now. So this is all I see is on all these super shy, all on the TV. Like they're a preset with the fishes that flop on the screen. They are now a presetted recording. That's amazing. Kudos to them.
I hope they're getting paid for that. All right, so player 2 is Cool With You. And we got 2 videos, or kind of a part 1, part 2. They call it side A, side B. So we also have some celebrities in this one. We have Jung Ho Yeon and Tony Leung, who's a Hong Kong actor. So when I saw him, because I didn't know that they were in it. So when I saw the 2 of them, I was like, what? Like, especially
Good.
him, because obviously I grew up
Yes.
watching him, so that's awesome. So yes, what did you think of this dramatic video?
Dramatic. I like the double video. It sets up an interesting story. Because I used to be a Greek mythology, Norse mythology, like really, oh God. And the story of Psyche and Eros romance is interesting to say the least and drawn out, honey. But I appreciate that the video is not too copy and pasted. It made the ending of part A a little unexpected, as the original myth has Psyche actually going through like the trials and tribulations, like all the motions to become a goddess, to be with Cupid. That and Cupid married and slept with Psyche under the condition that she never looked upon his face. Like that was the whole thing for the longest time. So I'm really glad that they kind of just interpreted it in a way where she's over his body, Cupid or the love deities over his body. The guys, she can't see herself, as opposed to don't look at me. And then you have the NewJeans girls being nosy with the chisme again. Sitting there watching, and I've noticed their faces, and I was like, oh, they don't look like they're too. It's looking like they don't look too happy with that. And the ending for part B, again, because they're not going for this full-on like copy and paste Greek version, it's interesting because after our Hyun Eros lives life and experience love, it's really sad that it gets taken away, you know? But I blame the NewJeans girls. They were snitches.
Yeah, they snitched.
Can you imagine? Like you said, I found the love of my life. And they said, no, you didn't. Like they literally was just like, and it sucks because they were watching her the whole video. I said, I peeped game from the jump because it wasn't even like an endearing smile.
Yes.
Like, it was just like,
It was eerie. Yeah.
Yep. It was like, girl, make a move. You got one chance. You got one. But yeah, it was interesting to watch that. For sure. I definitely enjoyed it, and kind of have the girls be like, not villains, but they are doing what is right in the order of the gods. So they're not wrong. It just feels wrong because we're watching someone lose so that they've always wanted or didn't know that they wanted until they had it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's very conflicting in that sense, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm a big fan of both videos. Part of me, though, is kind of like this could easily just have been 1 6-minute video. Like,
Right.
Did you really need the side A, side B?
Right.
Then the other part of me was like, oh, I wish there was like a version B of the song, like with different production or a remix or
yes.
something, just to differentiate the
Yes.
two. I mean, I think
Yeah.
they do a good job. Obviously, the two videos are completely different, and you could watch one or the other without watching both of them. Like, they both can stand on their own. Like, I like that the choreography is only in side B, for example.
Yeah.
I think that was a smart choice just to keep them very different.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously Jung Ho Yeon is the star of everything, and she's amazing. Like, I love her stoic face in pretty much all of side A is just absolutely perfect because she really does have a very memorable face. So at all those shots, like in the museum and everything, like she stands out just naturally.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. And then some of the shots, like in the rain and stuff, were really, really well done. Then you see a whole other side to her in side B where she's really happy and she's, immortal, whatever, in quotes, and then Tony killed that. He killed that. His very, very subtle glaring and his little, just his tiny like eyebrow raise or like a tiny like mouth
that glance
movement.
that she did. Yeah.
It was so perfect. And that whole dramatic scene with the slow walking across the street and then her realizing like basically her heart slowly or in slow-mo getting broken. Like the whole thing is really, really beautifully done for sure.
Yeah.
And it adds a lot of depth to the song. Because I think if you just listen to the song, it sounds kind of like we were saying, right? It's like, it sounds kind of innocent, like it sounds kind of naive a little bit. And this just adds a lot of depth to it. So yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, totally. So kudos to the director. He's listed under the YouTube description. I did not write down the name, but kudos to them because boy, they did the thing. All right, now bringing it on to the thing that was being done with Player 3, ETA's video, and this is another video. Like these girls are just chismeing. I forgot the girls are just gossiping throughout this whole damn. Like, this whole thing is so funny. But yes, I'm going to let you kick us off. What do you think about the video? Because I feel like this sounded a little bit, like, cooler that I was expecting from them, right? Like, I don't know how to explain that, like, in a way, and it's, like, not, like, for some kids, they did a good job, but no, they really did a good job for, like, a bunch of, like 18, 16, 17-year-olds, like.
Yeah. Well, we should note that this video was done in collaboration with Apple. So the whole music video was filmed with an iPhone 14 Pro, but using additional software and hardware, et cetera, et cetera. And a waterproof case, they made sure to mention at the very end.
I'm in tears.
And it was filmed in Barcelona, Spain. So first off, whoever came up with the idea to do this collaboration is so smart. Like, I'm very curious how that conversation came about. Like, did someone listen to the song and then come up with a music video concept and then was like, well, it makes sense if this is a phone conversation, so why don't we reach out to, like, it's just such an interesting and smart collaboration. I'm just very curious how it came about. So kudos to whoever figured that out, because it's really, really effective.
Because why not Samsung? Samsung's Korean. Why not? I mean, BTS kind of has that on lock, but
maybe
Apple?
Yeah.
And then
but it's
Apple
great
trying to collab it?
It's a collab, and it's kind of an ad for the phone.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel super forced, so they did do a good job of that.
It doesn't, yeah.
It was only the end when they were like, waterproof case and hardware, and so, like, I was like, okay. But, like, other than that, I was like, okay, yeah, this is a smart collab. Anyway, I especially love the shots of them looking glamorous in the car. That is the most, I think, mature we've ever seen them visually so far. And it was a really, really, because they're, like, kind of all, like, sultry and, like, smizing in the car with, like, the phone kind of going back and forth between all of them. I don't know. It's just a different look for them.
It was cool, though, for all. I agree.
Yeah. The story is super simple if you think about it. But if you think about it, it's actually a little weirder. So a lot of fans have kind of gone into it. And I want to shout out a Twitter user at Hey Hanimon. They did a really cool Twitter thread where they took some comments from the director and then also kind of did their own interpretations and kind of figured out, well, one theory is that the whole phone call, the whole FaceTime is all an illusion, and it's all just taking place in Eva's head, their friend's head, after she murdered Mikkel, the boyfriend. Yeah. So the cheating, we don't know if it actually took place or not, right? Like, everything is just in her head. So basically, the whole concept is, or could be, that the truth is just different in everyone's heads. People make up their own truths in their heads. You could also look at it as how unreliable storytelling can be. Yeah. Also, just how bad misinformation can be as well. So just really interesting, because on first watch, I was kind of like, oh, this is cute. Like, they're being really good friends, and they're telling their friend that her boyfriend is cheating on her, and her, and the friend is rushing to figure this out. But then it's actually really deep. So it just makes sense along with the rest of NewJeans stuff, but really, really cool. And it made me watch it a couple more times again after that and appreciate it even more. So,
you know what? That was my little 10 hat theory. But it's interesting, though. Like, the person did make a lot of good points. I think what made me realize that she was really tripping was the water scene. She's like, I see everything, and my car's in the water, and then when she was in the car with the girls, she kept hearing them saying things to her. Like, you never really saw her, but you could see her looking back and forth in the rearview window. This part, she's looking in the car over here. Minji's over here telling her, you better get there fast. He's talking to another girl. So things like that. And then even the police were in on the chisme. That's what got me. I was like, hang on. Not the cops pulling her over because she's speeding, but they also are like, you better get there because he's cheating on you. Like, man, there is nothing worse than gossip, okay? But yeah, no, I think the video was really funny. Again, just absolute jokes. And I really do appreciate that whoever is directing them still has a little air of, like, whimsy in their videos. Because, like, the girls are very self-aware in this video where they're like, oh, guys, we have to go perform. Like, you have to perform. Like, I guess they're at this party, but they knew they had to go perform. So for me, I was like, oh, are they stalling for homegirl? Like, get here now, girl, because we got to sing. But, before we go out there. But yeah, I think the cell phone scenes are so funny, especially that first chorus. Like, Hayden holding the camera. I was like, we can go wherever you like. And she's holding the camera in, like, horizontal. and she's still doing the choreography. I thought that was so funny. And every time the camera went to her, she's sitting there with the camera. She has these kind of like, not dead eyes, but she has that very like Wednesday Addams kind of look. Even her like Powerpuff Girl version of her, it has like this little angry like cat face. Something about her is just very like the cat sees all. It was just every time I saw her with the phone, I'm like, she probably got the truth. She's probably the one with the true answers here because her parts was just so funny to me. But yeah, I think everything it was really surreal. And at the end, it's interesting to see that maybe Ava did something bad to her boyfriend at the behest of her besties. Major air quotes there, especially after the allegations with Min Hee-jin using ETA beyond this ubiquitous text meaning, the estimated time of arrival. But yeah, just for controversy purposes, perhaps allegedly, as Eva, Mikkel, and Maria are like the three people in the love triangle, but also Mikkel was one of the leaders of a violent Spanish group called the ETA. Maria was his wife, and Ava was a victim. And their whole MO as a group of violent people were using explosives and the cars. That's their whole that's their whole MO. So it's been like this whole thing that's been floating around, and a lot of fans are like, why would she do that? It's a little spooky. It's a little, at this point, she's thinking any press is good press. And she's not completely wrong. Again, she's clever. I'll give her that.
Cool. There's just so many layers to it, Like you can look at it at level 1 where it's just a bunch of girls helping their friend out. You go to level 2 where it gets into what I said with all like kind of the misinformation and kind of truth, the question about what really is truth. And then it goes into your side of it where you have this real ETA and these real people with the same names that have like done these questionable things. So it's very interesting and very cool. I appreciate how deep they go every time. Yeah. But they really set the standard really high for themselves now.
At this point, yeah. Because I'm just
they can't do a regular music video anymore.
Or they're going to get dragged. Even the NewJeans video. Oh, we're not talking about it today. We're going to do like a whole NewJeans like album review, but they won the whole pop-off thing. But yeah, even that video, there's so many like interesting things going on in that video. I'm just like, God, they're clever. Like they made me wish I had their team. Like that's it's intense.
It's awesome. All right, well, time to vote. Who wins round 2, the video, for you?
Dang.
They're all really good.
I know. They're all. That's the tough part about this, because it's not like we're comparing. Like the songs kind of all sound a little bit different. They all have like this percussive thing in synths and in soft singing, right? But these videos are very specifically different. God, I'll have to say that I definitely enjoy the ETA video a little bit more than the Cool With You. I feel like if there would have been a little bit more dancing inside A as opposed to me needing both of them to do that, I think as a whole, I got the dancing and I got the story from ETA. So that's why it's going to win for me. I think Cool With You is a great video. I think it's an awesome video, but it takes the focus off the girls, which is fine. It don't have to be all about the girls. But when I think about the choreography, we'll get to the third round, I have to say ETA takes it for me as well. So altogether, choreography, storyline, and just the way it looks, ETA for me.
So I like all 3 of these for very different reasons. So it's very tough. But I think I also have to give it to ETA.
Oh, really?
Because I think it really balances everything really well. Like it's kind of juvenile, but then it's actually not juvenile. It's actually like kind of creepy and kind of like weird as well. So I kind of love all that.
All right, so now we're going to get to the final round, which is the performance/dance portion.
Round 3.
And this round we've been kind of alluding to, and we are both dancers, so we're going to be going, no, we're not going to be going hard, I'm totally joking. But, we both love the dances that NewJeans have had so far. So this one's going to be kind of tough, I think, for me. I'm not sure about you, but I was like, dang, this is going to be rough. But yeah, first in the ring is super shy, with their flicky hands.
Yeah.
This is the one, the choreography I feel like didn't match the song as much as just musicality speaking.
Yeah.
Some parts I was like, oh yeah. And then some parts I'm like, girl, you could have gone with some choreography on this one. You didn't have to make them do a chicken dance. Super shy, chicken, super shy, chicken. Like that right there is just a little like, oh, that don't make any sense. But shoot, I'm not going to hold you. But yeah, I think the ongoing joke with NewJeans fans is that they always get this crazy movement for something that's super chill. Like, There is no reason why they're sitting there. You don't. If you're not watching, I just did some crazy whacking, the terrible whacking. But it's just interesting because like, you don't even. Like, why are you giving me like Renaissance Beyonce like dance break? But it's okay. They look great doing it. It's just a lot. But yeah, you know, I just feel like they could have. I feel like they could have done something a little bit more fresh or a little bit more like. Still, I don't know, like something that RV, Red Velvet, or like FX, when they did Four Walls, when they did Naughty, like there was a lot of arm movements, but it's pretty stationary, letting the dancers do what they have to do or whatever. But I feel like it is a lot. And because the song is so repetitive, I didn't say this earlier, but the song is quite repetitive. I think the usage of formation changes, cannons, and other transitions keep the performance looking fresh because there's a lot to find. So kudos to the choreographer for sure for all of it, but it's just the arms they crack me up. They're so good. The girls did a really good job, but it's just so funny to see like all these lasers being like pew 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 when they're singing. Oh, and also shout out to that awkward walk off. Like the song literally ends on a button that Chris mentioned earlier, and the fact that they just bow and then march off is the funniest crap ever. It is like. It's literally like, that's the shyest, like, I'm shy, I like you, okay, bye. Like, that's what it looks like. I think that's so funny. Maybe that's not what the theory is, but like, I think it's great.
This choreo is the absolute most. Like, it is so extra, and like you mentioned, it doesn't really match the song at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in that sense, I don't love it, but
yeah.
Not taking in the musicality into account, though, the actual choreo itself looks very, very fun, and it reminds me of a Zumba class, right? Like, that's what it looked like. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a great way. Like, it looks really fun, and it's very athletic. But you mix Zumba, it's advanced Zumba, because there's also whacking, which, if you don't know what whacking is, you know, it's the crazy quick arms kind of over the head for the most part that they're doing the whole time. Or not the whole time, but, you know, for a lot of it. And it's very, very hard. I've learned just very, very simple whacks, and it's taken me a long time, like knowing how to like move your elbow and your wrist and like how relaxed your hand is and like the placement of each part of your arm the entire time is very, very important. So kudos to them, first off, for pulling it off. And then also they had so many background dancers, and it looked really, really clean. So that is really, really tough to do. So yeah, props for that. I do think it is a very memorable dance, and I think part of what makes it memorable is that it feels very hectic when compared to the song. So if that's what they were going for, then great. I do like the little hand flicks, like the one arm up and then the one other hand like doing the hand flicks down. I do like that a lot, and that is memorable as well. And yeah, you mentioned the formations and stuff already. I do think the parts where they're all facing different directions, especially in dynamic with the background dancers as well, it's super, super effective. That always just makes things look super full and interesting. I don't know how they could ever sing this live well while doing this choreography, because it's a Zumba class.
It is a lot. Oh my gosh, which is interesting because then you get to Cool With You, and it's like not
contemporary hip hop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we love that. Oh, my God. He stopped.
Flailing at the stop.
You know what? This reminds me of all of those, like, videos where the dancers make fun of the dance styles, like, contemporary, like, swat the flies, reach, then break, then melt, you know? Like, and then there's some hip-hop where it's, like, one pant leg at the time, flex the foot. Yeah. Yeah, it was just completely like one of those videos. If you guys are dancers and you've seen these videos, you know what I'm talking about. If you guys get offended with what I'm saying, then you're not dancers. If you know, you know. I'm just saying. It's really one of those things where it's just like you have to come up with this weird like analogy for someone to understand. You're breaking out of the box. Snap it back in. Like, that's what the girls were doing.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, yeah. So again, the flowy costumes, the flowiness, it reminds me of competition days, you know? And I do appreciate the age appropriateness of it all. I will give them that. Because this could have gone into some like, you know me like no other, body roll, but it wasn't. So I totally appreciate that they were like, oh yeah, let's make this intimate sounding song more sensual than what it has to be. But yeah, they do maintain their innocent look with the costuming and the choreography. And kudos to their facials, not looking super smoldery, but just looking like a young girl having a conversation with a boyfriend or like a love or whatever.
I do want to also shout out their facials. Very, very good for this song because they're expressive when they need to be, but it feels genuine. Like, you know, we talk about contemporary hip hop, and sometimes that also comes with like these like longing faces and stuff, which can look really extra sometimes. And I hated that. That was my least favorite thing about doing contemporary hip hop performances and stuff. So kudos to their performance director for making sure that they did not do that.
Relax your eyebrow.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's nice to see something different from them. This stands out a lot from every other song that they've released so far, so I do appreciate that. They do execute it very well. Like, you know, we have been making fun a little bit of the choreography because we both have done so much of this style before. And I agree. If you watch any dance crew, you'll always see an element of this for sure.
Yeah.
But they do it very, very well. They're very, very controlled. They have great execution the entire time. So kudos again to them. And yeah, the dynamics in this are really cool as well. I like the whole kind of, I don't know if it's like, are they like nymphs or like fairies or something? Like that's kind of the feeling I get, like especially from the music video, I guess.
Maybe they're muses. They're the muses.
Yeah, maybe
the
muses. Yeah. But the way that they have to kind of be in the right spot throughout the entire song, they're constantly changing formations and they have to interact with each other. Like someone's arm has to be here so that they can push it away, and then you're suddenly behind them and you're like framing something, you know, like it's really, really crazy how much teamwork that takes. Because if one person's in the wrong spot, it messes it up for everyone. So that was really impressive to watch throughout, you know, the couple of performances that they did. And I do have to shout out the hands for the intro and the outro. Like, that looks really cool on camera. I hope they have something different for, like, the stage performances. Because if they they do that on stage, like, no one can see what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like... but you know, I guess, you know, maybe just they can do a close-up on the camera or on the screen or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But, you know, for these performances, though, it looks really cool.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so player 3, we have ETA. What do you think?
You know, with so many Western influences, I wonder if the choreographer knew that this was like Be More club music. Like, there's so many different dance styles that come from like Black Americans. Like there's a New York way of dancing, there's a California way of dancing, there is a Philly, New Jersey, and Baltimore. And for them to use this kind of music and not even me see like a little bit of something is interesting, because it just kind of goes back to like with choreographers who don't really know where the song is coming from, they're just feeling something and they just choreograph. It's interesting to see how they interpret the music for sure. Because I know like a lot of Baltimore dances are literally like leg work oriented. They're not just like, oh, footwork. There's the footwork, yeah. But you need your whole leg to do, like the SpongeBob is like this hop thing where you kick your legs out. They can't do that there. Or like mumping is like where you kind of just like move your legs and kind of like do this weird little gyration thing. But there are more like footwork oriented things like the Cherry Hill or the 611, or like even strutting are a little bit more about the footwork. And it would have been a lot more cuter at certain points to see the choreography in those kind of ways. Because like for the ETA dance, the swinging, what's your ETA?
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm just kind of like, I get it, because you're looking for someone. Like, where are you? But that would have been a moment to do like the Cherry Hill, the footwork in it. Like, I can't really show because like I'm half of a person on this episode. It's the footwork like that would have been so cute. Like, what's your ETA? Like a little box step, a little, you know, what's that thing called? Charleston moment. Like not Charleston. Don't do my hands like that. But footwork would have been welcome a little bit more, I think. There's a lot of handography, like cute, typical girl group stuff. But I just feel like, oh man, if they would have known, I feel like they could have like, you know, done something a little bit more creative. But I think this one is probably the most fun one for them. They look like they're having a good time, but nothing really stood out to me like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Wow. You know, so that's kind of just how I feel about this one. Not as like outstanding.
Yeah, my very first note is that this is the more typical K-pop girl group one.
Yeah.
And that it is, for me, the least memorable of the three, I think because of that. First off, that intro with, I think it's Haein running in and them all waving and everything, like kind of like the Hype Boy intro where, you know, they're all like coming in together. Yeah. I hate that. I hate that because I get it for like a music video or something, but the fact that like you're like, okay, the next song we're gonna do you know, it's going to be this one. And then it's like, okay, now Haein just like walks to the corner and then they're all like, hi, you know what I mean? And it's like the last song of the set. And it's like, why are you faking, pretending you're like meeting up? I don't know. I just don't like really staged stuff like that because it feels so fake. Like there's no way to make that genuine. Like you all walked on stage together. So like, why is one of you in the corner?
Stop.
Like, wait, you know what I mean? It just doesn't feel, I don't know. It just doesn't feel genuine. But yeah, I would say the highlight for me is that first pre-chorus when they all go down on the floor and they each have that one line, you know, and then it kind of just like each kind of have a little moment. It just gives a nice picture. It's just kind of nice to get to see them kind of in a different silhouette, I guess.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I wish the whole dance was just a little cooler. Like there are some hip hop fundamentals and grooves that are in it, but it does feel very high school hip hop dance team.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all the fist pumps and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's just a lot.
Oh my God, you're so right. Yeah.
And I think, and I get it because the song feels maybe also quite young a little bit.
Yeah.
But it makes it feel less mature than it needed to, I think. So, yeah, I think the other thing that was interesting to note just from watching like the dance practice and the performances and stuff, they have camera angles and stuff kind of built into the choreography. Like at one point, they're all facing like the back corner.
The back.
Yeah.
Like,
and then, I don't know. And then even at the very end, it's like, okay, now you each go to the camera and you each do your thing. And I think there's one performance where they even hold the camera and they're all like looking in the camera and stuff. And I guess that could work like on a concert and stuff, but it's just interesting watching something that was clearly built to be shown on TV as opposed to performed on stage. So that's just interesting to watch, and it'll be interesting to see if they change it up at all for the stage or if they will still face the back like that.
That's so part. Funny. You're so right. Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. I think it looks fun to do.
Yes.
But out of the three, for sure, the least memorable.
Yeah, sorry y'all, but by the way, don't come for us or do, but you know, just understand it's coming from a place of experience and high expectations for the babies.
Yeah, and they've set their own standards very high, so we're gonna have to go with that, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I will pick my winner for round 3. Okay. The choreography. I will go with Super Shy. Yeah, I will. I think despite I complain a lot about musicality, or not complain. I talk a lot about musicality on this show and how important it is as a dancer.
Yeah.
But in this case, when you combine the choreography with the video and everything, it really does make me like the song so much more. So it works in this case. This one is an outlier there. Yeah. What do you think?
I'm crying. No, I agree. I think because I'm a professional amateur whacker. Shout out to Anjay. Anjay is a dancer that was in my music video, and she's so good at whacking. Like she'll have a whole battle and just.
It's amazing.
She's great. But yeah, I've taken a couple of her classes, and it's not easy to do. Like the moves that they have are a little bit more simple in terms of like what they're doing. They're not doing a lot of shimmying and like locking and stuff, so they don't have like the crazy stuff. But for what they do have, it does require so much practice and getting them all uniform like that, and then having to move while doing the. Get out of here. It's from the underworld. So good for them. They did a great job. Love it. I wanted to learn this dance, but I have no time. But yeah.
Same.
This one took it for me. What about you all? What about the bunnies? Let us know in the comments below. What is your favorite dance? What is your favorite music video? And what is your favorite song? While we talk about our overall winner.
All right. So for my overall winner, I will go with Cool With You.
Are you doing this by like average score?
No, I mean a different song won each round for me, right? So I love all 3, and I do love the full EP as well. I think it's great, but I think Cool With You is just it's cool. Pun intended. Like it fits in also just with my music taste as well.
I was going to say,
and I do think it is more mature. I think, obviously we're older than NewJeans, so sometimes it's kind of like, okay, this feels like very young, but Cool With You is quite mature. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it does slide in very nicely after like Attention or like, because it's the R&B thing. it's going back to what you were saying about the musical taste. I was like, he's probably going to pick something based on what he likes, regardless of like what things went. And then for me, I'm going to go with something that I personally like as well. Cool With You is right there for me, but I think because I've listened to ETA so much, I think I just like it a little bit more. Yeah, I think because I've sat with ETA a lot longer, I think ETA is going to take it from me. So ETA slept it, y'all. Things don't usually happen like that. I'm very like choosy at times. But this time I think it was a clear, like, okay, I can see why this is the lead single. This one, I can see it. For me, I can understand. Yeah.
Oh, man, they've set their standard up so high.
Yeah.
I'm so glad this EP is good, too, because part of me was worried. I was like, how are they going to beat the last 4 songs?
But kudos to them. But honestly, all that being said, though, after a while, this whole like Jersey, Philly, Baltimore, whatever club music that you guys got going on, it will fade away. It's not the girl's responsibility to figure it out. It's Adore. It's Miss Min. I can't say her whole name right now. It is their job to figure out how to keep these girls relevant and also ahead of the curve. I am so excited to see what they're going to do next because right now, this is cute. But a year from now, this ain't going to be cute. It's going to be tired. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen for them because this is only up from here or down. It depends on the decisions being made. But for so far, like you said, the album was good. The Powerpuff Girls thing was cute. That's all I'll say about that. I'm excited. I can't wait to listen to some more chest voice singing and no more like whisper singing in a year or two.
I think by the time this comes out, I think if they may have performed at Lollapalooza that they're doing. I hope that set comes out. I would love to see them kind of do a proper live set. I think that'd be very interesting. So yeah, let's see how they do. But yes, bunnies or non-bunnies. Let us know what you all think about the 3 title tracks from Get Up, what wins each round, and the full pop-off for you. And you can hang out with us and the crew on Patreon to help us choose our next episode topics. And you can follow us at CCTV Pops on social media. Next month, we will post polls again, asking you to vote. And we'll see if the same artist wins all 3 again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for our YouTube channel. And if you're enjoying the show on a podcast platform, please give us a follow, a rating, and review. Until next time, that's Shan.
That's Chris.
And we're signing off from CCTV, the Nonstop Pop Show.